Okay.
There we go.
Wow. What a movie experience we had tonight, huh?
Is that the end of superhero movies? Is that the end of the Marvels?
Maybe. It's definitely the end of the Marvels, I'm going to say.
You think so?
Miss Marvel will keep going. I think that TV show's doing okay, but...
There was a TV show?
Yeah, with the I was going to say Mexican, the Muslim lady.
Fucker. You're so racist.
What?
You
No.
can't even go like
Muslim
2 minutes
and
without
Mexican
being
are
racist.
both start with an M, so I fixed it.
Muslim is not a race.
Well, then
Mexican is.
Okay, well, so what is she?
How do you think it works?
Is she Indian? Is she Pakistan? I don't
You
fucking
didn't
know.
with her mom going like what up that
now
didn't
you're
include you
being
in?
racist.
That's how she talks.
Well, all right. Guys, welcome to the biggest review of the Marvels. We had a big fight over if that should be the name of this series, and everyone sided with me. I swear to God.
You didn't get that?
I got there. I figured it out. The Marvels is the newest Marvel movie, which is confusing, starring Brie Larson,
Yeah.
that black lady and that Indian lady. I probably should have looked up their names.
Man, Jay does a great job introducing the movie. It's like fun
I'm
to
not
listen
Jay.
to, but you're like
I'm
just,
not
you're
Jay
just
Bauman.
obsessively folding a paper.
I didn't bring up the IMDb. Maybe I'll put the names on the screen. I don't know. All right,
great.
So here's the deal. We're doing this video a little differently. Shut the fuck up.
But neither of the people who are watching it need this explanation.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Okay. So I got to get it out of the way quick. If you want no spoilers and you're watching this on the Vito channel, you're just going to get the no spoiler part. It's going to be a quick, dirty, no spoiler review. If you want the full review with spoilers, you go to the Biggest Problem channel at youtube.com/biggestproblem. So you're either on YouTube. If you're watching this on Biggest Problem and you don't want spoilers, go to youtube.com/Vito.
Confusing.
It's not that confusing.
It's more confusing than the movie we just saw.
Well, the movie is very confusing.
Iron Man comes back to life. Robert Downey Jr. comes back to
This
life.
is the no spoiler part. You're not allowed to do. He doesn't come back to life.
Spoiler.
Everything.
I was
spoiler.
waiting there the whole time, going, "Where is this motherfucker?"
All right, so the no spoilers.
Where's a man gonna show up?
When is
and
well?
explain what the fuck's happening to me? Because when the women are talking, I swear to God, this is true.
Yeah.
If women are talking for too long, I just tune out and I don't know what they said.
I kind of felt. You know what was weird when they were? Again, I'm trying to not do spoilers, but there was a lot of conversations between them. And I kept going, man, if there was just like a male character here,
At least
to
his
cut
face, I could
through.
tell what was happening. If Iron Man was there going like, I would say, okay, they're bullshitting right now.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
And he was
yeah.
like,
So my no spoiler reaction. I did not like this movie. This movie was genuinely confusing.
yeah.
I still am not like I still don't really. I have so many questions.
Oh, really? It wasn't that. I wasn't that confused.
Well, I'd say that the questions I have are like
there was no gems. That was odd.
there were no gems.
It was jewelry based.
Yes.
It was a jewelry based
They should
plot.
have been looking for gems.
Bangles.
Okay, the confusion comes from the fact that I watched this movie and it felt like it was full of just plot holes, just things where I wanted characters to just make obvious decisions. So a lot of plot contrivances where I'm like, well, this seems like it could just be easily solved in whatever way.
Oh,
or
you're
like,
going to a water planet. Okay.
Yeah.
Why'd you say all those words?
yeah, just go to the water planet.
You know what I found really odd? I liked it.
Shut up. Avoid spoilers, remember.
I liked
Yeah.
it's
You
cute.
liked the
It's
movie?
cute. Yeah.
No,
it did kind of feel like a superhero movie for women or kids. Was it supposed to be for kids?
No, well, it's got Miss Marvel in it, but
They had a cat eating people.
there's a lot
things.
of cats. Yeah.
Yeah, that
That's
seemed
stuff
like
in
a
the
kid
trailer,
thing.
so we can talk about that.
Okay.
I'd say definitely. Okay, the big problem I have with this movie is there are no narrative arcs for these characters.
I have that written down.
They
yeah.
all start in the same place, and they all basically end in the same place.
And there's a lot of opportunities to push them forward. Like
Yeah.
I have one specifically written down where the black woman's all pissed about something, and then she turns around and like does the same thing that she's pissed about. And I was like, well, shouldn't there be a comeuppance here? Isn't the other one supposed to say? Is it
Yeah.
Captain Marvel supposed to go like, oh, now you know how it feels to be
Right.
in my shoes, right?
Yeah.
She's like, Oh, you know.
There were that's the thing is I kept waiting for the moment.
Character development.
And again, this is a space movie. It's a lot of space stuff. So I kept thinking about Guardians of the Galaxy, which very clearly establish what characters are dealing with. Star-Lord, you saw the most recent one, number 3.
Horrible.
It's not horrible.
I did a bunch of acid though. It was.
You did a bunch of
horrible.
acid. That's the reason.
Animals, baby animals getting tortured.
Yeah, I know.
And there was a
intense.
walrus with wheels. It was so stupid and sick and weird.
Well, that's different.
And then there was like a weird, like young little girl.
Yeah.
Prison ship.
Okay, but we at least recognize, even in a movie that has more characters than the Marvels.
Yeah.
Each character was dealing basically with something.
Yeah.
Okay, Star-Lord was dealing with my girlfriend died, and here's my new girlfriend. New girlfriend comes back, and she's
That was
dealing...
horrible too, man. On acid, that was.
We're not here to discuss Guardians of the Galaxy necessarily. I'm just saying that in these Marvel movies, characters start in like this sort of limbo, have an emotional arc, reach their lowest point, and then reunite at the end. Marvel's is just a flat line. It's just, here's the characters. There's like a tiny little meaningless dip.
You know what though?
What?
There was one moment. I don't know if this is a spoiler.
Okay.
But Captain Marvel apologizes for how she spoke to the Mrs. Marvel, the little girl.
Sure, yeah.
I've never seen that in real life or in a movie.
You've
I was
never
like,
seen a woman apologize
that is
to a
how
woman?
that's supposed to. That's what that looks like. I knew it. I knew they could do it.
Yeah.
She goes, I'm sorry for the way I spoke to you. And I said, I dropped my popcorn. It's like
no
the
woman,
Untouchables.
no woman
My
has
popcorn
ever
was bouncing
apologized
down.
for her tone in the history of the universe.
Just her behavior at all.
I'm sorry I acted like a bitch. Maybe women say that to each other in private. I don't know.
Really? You think so?
I don't know.
Is that how women talk to each other in private? That movie?
No. I think they talk. I think they might say that like, let's just get through it, and then they immediately go to their friend and they go, "That fucking Miranda is a bitch."
There was not a lot of talk about emotions, and there should have been.
Yeah.
Like
women dealing.
There was a lot of strong emotions, and none of them were described.
They didn't make sense. The reasons for the emotions they had were like so shallow, where it's like, I'm really dealing with this, and I'm like, yeah, but why? That's boring.
Why? Yeah, why?
Yeah, why is this a major emotional stumbling block for you?
I'll tell you what I really liked though.
Okay.
Is that I don't watch any of the shows or any of the other garbage.
Right.
So they jumped right into it and didn't really explain why anything was happening, which was great. So it made it so much more entertaining. Like all of a sudden she's like ripping wires out of like a giant head.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's cool. That was only a couple minutes. That's great.
They do jump right in. If you have not seen the previous movies, they give you a full like previously on sequence.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, remember last episode? And I'm like, wow, they're really doing that? There was a lot of like flashbacks that was just footage from the last movie.
Cool.
I don't know if it was cool. I thought it was weird.
I didn't understand their switching powers at all.
Oh, well, that's been a big problem that we're going to get into.
Because you and I, like, if we had a switching power,
right?
We would switch, right? But there's 3 of them.
Right.
So there's no
rhyme or reason to who switches with who.
And they never explain it, and they themselves are never curious. They just kind of spontaneously switch sometimes when they use powers to their advantage.
That's been a thing since the trailer where we go, how is this going to work? I understand it makes for maybe some thrilling action sequences, but you got to do the Aladdin thing. You got to explain the genie rules.
Yeah.
You got to say you can't make anyone fall in love.
Yeah.
You can't bring anyone back from the dead.
Like you both only switch with the little girl. Like, okay, that makes, at least then I know.
At least I know the rules. There was a couple rules established, I think, but I still was confused about a lot of it. I'm going to say, you know what? Real quick.
Go ahead.
Let's give just kind of our overall feelings again. I found this movie confusing. It felt like they cut out exposition because it was boring, but that just made it more confusing. And ultimately, it felt like it felt like a well-produced Power Rangers episode.
Zordon.
Yeah. Very shallow.
Yeah.
Just a lot of dumb, stupid action, and it doesn't really make sense if you think about it.
I liked it. That was cute.
You're
It's
an
like
idiot.
a cute. I mean, come on, you know. Brie Larson's hot. I don't know why everyone's so mean about her. She's hot as hell.
She's a good-looking lady. Honestly, out of all of them, I think she's the strongest actress in the movie.
Well, because they wrote her lines for a man. The way she was acting,
Was
I was
mannish.
like, yeah, that's a.
She knows how to emote. She, you know, in her face, you can really see a lot of emotion. Miss Marvel was okay at that, and of course, Monica Rambeau was. Somebody was mad at me. I'm like,
oh, is it the black woman?
yeah. All the reviews say that
she's a little too big. I thought
she's the weakest part of the movie. I think. And
yeah.
honestly, this movie would have been. I think it would have worked much better if it was just Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel. The kid meets the big one. They can switch places. Freaky Friday. Having the third one, like they just felt like she needed to be there for some reason because they don't know what to do with her.
What about the jump roping scene? Did you like that?
Well, that's a big spoiler. And you know what, guys? If you're watching this on youtube.com/Vito, this will be the end of the no spoiler segment.
Okay.
If you want to watch the rest of it, head on over to youtube.com/biggest-problem. And you can get our spoiler review. And if you're watching this on youtube.com/biggest-problem, then you're already
Ignore
in.
these.
Ignore these little
proviso.
segues. We had a big discussion in the car about this stupid structure. I think this is a good structure.
It's fine.
It's
the
fine.
way you wanted to do it was weird, where we start over.
Well, no,
then it would be like a weird fake way. Like we have to talk about all that stuff again.
I get it. I know what you're saying. Okay.
Now it's time for spoilers.
We're going to get into spoilers.